Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. We have gathered quite a stack of sources today to analyze one of the key infrastructure players in, well, the whole AI space, Applied Digital. And the big question we're really trying to unpack for you is pretty straightforward. Is Applied Digital a good buy right now? We're about to jump into a lot of data, but hey, first, if you find this discussion useful, please hit that subscribe and like button. Let us know what you think in the comments, too. Oh, and if there's a specific company you'd like us to look into for a future conversation, definitely drop that name below.
Yeah, absolutely. We've spent a good amount of time synthesizing everything,
Yeah.
looking at their latest financials, SEC filings, even digging into technical charts, what Wall Street's saying. And, for anyone wanting the quick version, our overall take suggests a really strong bullish outlook. We're actually rating this whole investment picture pretty high, a 9 out of 10. It's a mix of solid fundamentals and some clear strategic catalysts coming up.
A 9 out of 10. Okay, that's quite strong. What are we potentially missing, though? I mean, when you give a rating that high, it suggests the market maybe hasn't quite caught on yet.
Well, that's sort of the core idea, isn't it? The market seems to be playing a bit of catch-up to just how explosively this company is scaling. We're talking about a pure play here in, scalable AI and high-performance computing, HPC hosting. They provide essential infrastructure. This isn't just some software trend.
Okay, right. Let's start with those foundational numbers then. I've seen some headlines, and the figures look, well, kind of staggering. Just how aggressive has this expansion actually been over the past year?
It's been truly transformative. If you look at the financials for their fiscal year ending May 31st, 2025, total revenues jumped to $341.4 million. Now, that's a 119% increase from the $156 million the year before.
Yeah.
And you just don't see growth rates like that very often, especially in infrastructure.
Wait, 119% growth?
That's amazing, yeah. But is that just because they were starting from a, relatively small base?
Yeah.
How does that really aggressive expansion translate into actual operating efficiency? Are they making money?
That's a fair point, and the sources do show that the efficiency is starting to follow the scale. Gross profit hit $102.2 million. That translates to a 29.9% gross margin, and that margin improvement is really critical. Even more encouraging, fiscal year 2025 marked a key milestone for them operationally. They actually generated positive operating cash flow. Now, in a business that needs billions in capital spending, generating your own cash to help fund future projects, that changes the whole risk calculation.
Right, and we also saw a huge beat in their last reported quarter, didn't we? They reported an EPS of -3 cents versus, I think, an expected -13 cents. And the revenue was $80.6 million, which beat the $77 million estimate quite handily. So those signs suggest the new contracts are already kicking in. Exactly. And the balance sheet offers some, crucial resilience here. They're holding about $113.9 million in cash and equivalents. But the really anchoring point is their leverage, their net debt to EBITDA ratio. It's sitting below 1.2x. So for you listening, that basically means they could pay off their net debt with just over a year's worth of their current earnings power. That's incredibly safe leverage, especially for a company doing these massive capital projects. Plus, their current ratio is 2.1x, showing they have strong short-term liquidity too.
Okay, that kind of financial health definitely gives them the runway they need for these big strategic moves. So moving past just the numbers, how is Applied Digital setting itself up to stay ahead in this, very competitive AI race? They need some kind of moat, right?
Right. What really stands out from the sources is their scale and, frankly, their execution speed. They have over 900 megawatts of capacity. It's either contracted already or currently under development. That puts them well ahead of most independent competitors, especially in this specialized AI and HPC infrastructure niche. And the moat isn't just about building big data centers. It's also about specialized offerings, things like their proprietary cooling technology, which helps with customer stickiness, especially for these GPU-heavy AI workloads.
And speaking of customer stickiness, the sources make it really clear we have to talk about CoreWeave. They seem absolutely central to this whole story.
Oh, absolutely. CoreWeave is a massive anchor client. Earlier this year, they finalized a huge 250 megawatt AI data center lease. Then, just this past August 2025, they announced another major lease, 150 megawatts with CoreWeave, this time in North Dakota. And these aren't like short-term things. They're multi-year, high-visibility contracts. That really helps de-risk Applied Digital's future revenue and justifies these big expansion plans.
Which leads us right into the sheer scale of their upcoming projects. Tell us about Polaris Forge 2. That $3 billion investment number really jumped off the page.
Yeah, Polaris Forge 2 is It's a statement project. They were planning to break ground back in September on this $3 billion campus. This isn't just another building. It's one of their largest capital investments ever. And it really cements North Dakota as a growing hub for AI infrastructure. This project is basically a multi-year growth engine. It shows management's confidence in the long-term demand for AI.
Okay, so we've got the big contracts, these really ambitious long-term build-outs. What about the near term? What are the catalysts investors can actually watch for and maybe trade on?
The main near-term focus is definitely the Q2 fiscal 26 earnings release. That's expected sometime in November 2025. Consensus is already looking for strong year-over-year growth there. And importantly, after those strong results in August, management actually raised their full-year revenue guidance. They're now guiding to a range of $365 million to $375 million for fiscal 26. Management confidence that's backed up by actual contracts, that's always a big catalyst.
And their longer-term plan to shift more towards higher-margin AI cloud services, moving beyond just leasing space, that could really change their earnings quality over time, right?
That's exactly right. That strategic shift ensures that the future revenue they bring in will be more recurring, higher quality.
Yeah.
It should significantly change their margin profile over the next few years.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and look at the market reaction. The fundamentals seem undeniably strong, but has the stock price maybe already run up too much? Has it priced in all this good news?
Well, when we look at the price action, the rally has been extremely compelling. The stock shot up about 62% over just the last 3 months. It went from around $21 back in July 2025 to almost $34 by early October. So that establishes a very clear bullish uptrend.
So for you listening and maybe looking at this stock now, where are the key technical levels to keep an eye on?
Okay, so key support seems to be holding pretty strong between $30 and $31.50. That's where buyers have stepped in repeatedly since August. Resistance looks like it's probably in the $36 to $39 zone. The stock is definitely in momentum territory right now. It's sitting well above its 50-day moving average, which is around $29.20, and the 200-day average down near $25.70.
What about the relative strength index, the RSI? Does all this momentum mean it's getting overbought?
Not quite yet. The RSI is hovering around 62. Now, that's definitely bullish. It shows strength, but it's still below that typical overbought level of 70. So it suggests there could still be room to move higher, especially if catalysts hit.
Let's talk confidence, specifically confidence from the big players, institutions, and maybe even more importantly, from the management team itself. What's Wall Street saying?
Wall Street is overwhelmingly positive on this one. Out of the 13 analysts that cover the stock, 11 rated either a buy or a strong buy. The highest published price target we could find is $43.
And insider buying. When management puts their own money in, especially in a volatile sector like this, that sends a pretty strong signal, doesn't it?
It really does. We saw multiple insiders, including the CEO, members of the board, buying common stock. This was happening at prices between roughly $27 and $32 during Q3 and Q4 of 2025. It shows management clearly believes that the value from these strategic contracts and future growth isn't fully baked into the stock price yet.
And you mentioned positive institutional inflows, too. What does that actually mean, and who's doing the buying?
Right. Institutional buying is a strong sign of kind of validated long-term belief in the story. The 13F filings, these track what large money managers own, showed net positive inflows. Big names like ARK Invest and BlackRock were adding to their positions in the last quarter. When those major players commit capital, it adds serious weight to the long-term investment case.
Okay, finally, we should probably mention the speculative buzz, even if, it's not confirmed. What's the sort of chatter out there that might be adding fuel to the fire?
Yeah, the sources do mention some talk around two pretty significant possibilities. First, a potential joint venture, a JV, with a big established cloud hyperscaler. That would obviously transform their market access and credibility almost overnight. Second, there's apparently some unconfirmed interest from private equity firms looking to either acquire them or take a large strategic stake. Now, again, these are just rumors. You have to treat them with a high degree of caution, but they clearly feed into that positive market sentiment and maybe help justify those higher valuation expectations people have.
Okay, that's a pretty thorough look at the upsides. But since we started with that strong 9 out of 10 rating, we absolutely have to look critically at the downside, too. What are the key risks tied to this hyper-growth story?
Yeah, definitely need to cover those. We identified 3 critical risks. First one is concentration risk. They rely very heavily on just a few major clients, with CoreWeave being, the dominant one by far. So if CoreWeave were to suddenly face a setback or maybe just reduce its capacity needs significantly, that could cause some serious earnings volatility for Applied Digital, even though management says they're trying to diversify.
Okay, concentration risk. What's next?
Second is execution risk. Building facilities on the scale of Polaris Forge 2, that $3 billion campus, it's incredibly complex stuff. Any delays, cost overruns, maybe permitting issues, those could easily pressure their margins in the near term and potentially shake investor confidence, even if the capacity is ultimately needed down the road.
Right. Big projects come with big execution challenges. And the third risk.
Finally, they're definitely exposed to market volatility. Because the business requires so much capital upfront, a broader economic downturn or even just a significant dip in cloud spending generally could really impact the demand for all this new capacity they're building.
Okay, so summing up the bullish argument then, the reason for that high conviction rating, it really comes down to a clear combination of strong financials, obvious momentum, and that institutional backing.
Precisely. The growth numbers are impressive, and they're backed up by improving profitability. The future pipeline looks pretty locked in thanks to those huge contracts, and management's confidence seems high, both in their guidance and, their own stock purchases.
So who is the stock really best suited for? Is it the short-term trader looking for maybe an earnings pop, or is it more for the patient long-term investor?
It genuinely seems to appeal to both camps right now. For short-term investors, it looks like a high-conviction trade based on that contract momentum and the upcoming November earnings. But for long-term investors, the appeal is really driven by those big structural tailwinds in AI and digital infrastructure overall. That suggests potential for sustained multi-year outperformance as their scale grows and they shift towards those higher-margin cloud services.
All right, that brings us pretty much to the end of our analysis on Applied Digital for today. Just to recap the most important factors for you to focus on, that staggering 119% year-over-year revenue growth, the way they've de-risked future revenue with those massive long-term CoreWeave contracts, and that clear signal of confidence coming from all the insider buying we saw.
And maybe here's a final thought for you to consider, something provocative perhaps. Our source material mentioned favorable U.S. policy towards building data center infrastructure. So given the sheer scale of these new projects, like that $3 billion Polaris Forge 2 campus, how much does the actual geographic location, North Dakota in this case, and its specific regional regulatory landscape, either insulate or maybe even accelerate the company's future growth compared to competitors? Competitors who might be building in, say, more densely populated or maybe more highly regulated areas.
That's a great question to mull over as we watch how their next moves play out. Thank you so much for joining us for this conversation today. We look forward to analyzing the next set of sources with you again soon.